Hi everyone, this is going to be a video response to Maggie Elram. She did a video on the Divine Feminine and what her perspective was on the Divine Feminine and how she relates to the Divine Feminine in her life and that sort of thing. So I wanted to do a video response because I just thought it was a very interesting topic, and it's very much in line with the nature of my entire channel. So I thought it was a good idea. I know it's been a while, but I got sidetracked with a few things. But now that I'm here, I wanted to do this video response. So I'm going to start with a poem I wrote while I was thinking about this topic, because um, when I approach certain topics, specifically spiritual topics, metaphysical, um, that sort of topic, I I want to be able to write down my thoughts and think about them for a while before I start talking about them. Um, so I just wanted to share the poem first, and then I'm going to get into some discussion of I guess the nature of the divine feminine. It's quite a topic. Uh, Hopefully I can do this all in one video. We'll see. Alright, I have, I guess this is going to serve as my, well, yeah, it's kind of a spiritual journal. It's got a lot of poetry in it mostly, but for the most part, it's a spiritual journal. It's not exactly a book of shadows, but I think spiritual journal will, yeah, pretty much describes it. Alright, Divine Feminine. She is my mother, the great one with many children. She is imminent beauty and grace. She is the voice of the world. She is always singing. There are stars in her hair, the sun and moon are her eyes. Her dress falls down like water. Her dress is the ocean, blue-green. She is all love, all majesty. There is a crown of laurels on her head, and a sun disk above like a halo. She holds scales in one hand and a sword in the other. She is lion-headed. She is the Danube and the Nile rivers. She is also the Mississippi and the Missouri, too. Her heart is a crystal, all crystals. She is the great muse, all the muses. She is every true virtue, both strength and kindness, justice and compassion. She is the three fates, the three mothers, the three hags. She weaves all lives together and cuts cords. She is the great spider and the mouse, the lioness, and she is also the mare, the great cow, the raven, the owl, the dove and swan, the peacock, all creatures with wings, every whale, dolphin, and fish. She is in my hands, in my words, in the way I smile, in the way I create and dream, hope, and even wait. She has bangles on her arms, her fingers are full of gold rings, her neck is adorned with jewels. She is always dancing, spinning in circles, like the earth around the sun, the moon around the earth. She is the divine embodied. She has made many bodies for herself, the earth mother, the moon, grandmother, the sun, Venus, Io, Eris, for herself. She is matter, both light and dark, and also light and dark energy. She is the sustainer of all things, nourisher, keeper. She is fierce love. There is fire in her bones just as there is fire in mine. She is the conscious, intelligent, living universe. She is queen of the other world, fair lady, grandmother time, she is Lady Death. She gives birth to all that lives. She is lover of all that would live again. So, in my practice, the goddess is pretty much all-encompassing. if you could not tell that from my writing. Um, but when I think primarily of the divine feminine, um, I actually kind of reached back into my Judeo-Christian background, and my first experiences with her were through the Shekinah, which is the divine presence of the of the God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Um, she is often depicted as the feminine form of the God um, of that tradition. Uh, that didn't really sit very well with me, but the idea of her as the divine presence, as the immanent divine, the divine in nature, the divine that we can see and feel and experience in our present lives, in the present moment. Um, that's what I think of when I think of the divine feminine, the immediate expression of the divine, as opposed to, or not really as opposed to, but in as complement to the transcendent, the the other. She's not the other. She is another myself, if that makes sense. Um, it's difficult. Wow. And I've been thinking about this for a long time and trying to put it together, but it's difficult to express. But she is another myself. She is my higher self. I'm not sure if I'm very comfortable with that terminology. It's kind of a little bit too new agey for me. But I think I think that I think that will suffice to say that she is my higher self. She is everything that I can be. Um, Also, besides the Shekinah, I've also had growing up the the idea of the feminine as Sophia or as wisdom. Um, Anybody who has come from a Christian background will probably know about the chapter in Proverbs. I think it's chapter 30. It's been a long time since I picked up a Bible. Um, in the book of Proverbs, supposedly written by King Solomon, um, where he personifies wisdom as a woman, um, and one of great beauty and even great capacity. And by capacity, I mean ability to take care of herself, ability to um, organize her life, organize her family, um, even have an influence in the local environment. If you can, I would take a look at that. Either Proverbs 30 or 31. I think it's 30. Proverbs 30. If I'm wrong, sorry. It's just been a while. But Sophia also it's not is a kind of wisdom. It's kind of a living wisdom. I think of the divine feminine as a personal understanding. No, I think wisdom is the right term. Goodness. And here I thought I'd planned all this out so perfectly. um, so she is wisdom through living, through experience, gnosis, I suppose we could call it. Um, Also, she's not just daily understanding, like common knowledge. She is the understanding of the patterns of life, the understanding of, I suppose I could say, natural order, also moving away from the Christian background that I grew up in. She's very closely, for me, associated with Ma'at, the natural pattern of things, the natural order, um, natural justice. I don't know, the natural organization of things. um, she is also Lady Justice, both just Justicia, Justicia, um, and Themis, the the social order and the more basic natural order of life. Um, yeah. Oh goodness. All right. So in that way, she's not just. I don't want to make it sound like she is just a principle to me. She is a principle personified. She is a living order, a living organization of the universe. She is the intelligence of the universe, the sentience, the feeling, the the responding. She's the life to the universe, the life principle. Uh, she's also she's also Lady Death, which is more difficult for me to digest, I suppose. I know it rationally that she is both part of the life principle and part of the other world or the death process. Um, that's more difficult for me to get my mind around at this point, but that is there. Um, Also, I think of her most as Charis or um, grace, but the Greek charis, where we get the word charisma. She's a very strong, fierce, um, imminent grace. She's not grace as we might think of as passive. She is a she is strong presence in the present moment. She is the understanding, the feeling of belonging to this place and this time and being a part of everything, the the interconnectedness of things. She arises out of that. She arises out of the um, patterns, the connections, the threads between people, the relationships between human beings and animals and human beings and plant life and the earth and other elements of the universe. So in a way, she is creation, ever-present creation. Um, not creator in the way that we would think of the divine masculine as having created the natural world in one specific point in time. She is continual creation. She is the divine embodied through all these processes that we go through in life. Wow. Okay, and also when I think of charis, which is the Greek for grace, I think of what I suppose in a Christian background would be called common grace, um, the divine presence in the natural world. Also, there's something of the something of animal magnetism to charisma. It's just an extra sense of presence, of being fully embodied, being really a part of this particular experience that we're having, being truly present. And when I think about it, I think of like a lioness or a, a, a mama bear or even a whale or a dolphin, how they have grace in their movements, agility, and how if you sit with any of these wild animals, it's a very strong presence that they have, and they're both beautiful and very strong, and you can like sometimes feel that coming off of them, if you especially from their eyes. For some reason, uh, big cat's eyes are kind of like mesmerizing, at least to me, and that's what I'm thinking about when I think of Karis. She's both very strong, very attractive, but it's not necessarily a sex appeal. It's a very primal pull, a magnetism, um, and she's beautiful and agile and very capable in her own environment, like any great predator is. Um, so when I think of the divine feminine, I suppose I'm thinking of mostly the great predator animals, not necessarily. I know some people think of uh, softer, gentler type images, the dove, the swan, the rabbit, um, the sacred cow. What I think about is the lioness, um, and the great whales, and those animals that have very strong presence, um, that have very that are just that are very impressive. um, she is very bright and warm and fiery, and when I think of her, I think of starlight and sunlight, and that's probably because my matron is Hathor of the Egyptian pantheon, and she is a solar goddess. So, and I know normally we think of the goddess as lunar and as related to Mother Earth, um, the Grandmother Moon, um, even the great oceans. Um, so I guess the soft elements of water and earth, we would think of her, while air and fire are generally considered the masculine elements. But to me, the divine feminine is extremely fiery. She's not only mother, she's also grandmother and daughter, which would be uh, crone and maiden in in the Wiccan feminine trinity, mother, maiden, crone. Um, I think mother, grandmother, daughter. Um, yeah. So she is also ba- basically because she is the divine embodied. She is everybody. um, I am, I suppose, a little goddess, like 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 putting a jewel inside of a jewelry box. I'm the jewelry box, and she's this great gem inside, all sparkly and bright and fiery. Um, yeah, I think I'm done. uh, excuse me for being a little bit bumbling around and being a little bit not as eloquent as I want it to be. Anyway, uh, I'm glad I did this video. I really am, even though I don't think I did it very well. Um, I I thank you for making this topic, and I just thought it was really something that I wanted to address, and I hope I did okay. Um, so thank you for that, and I hope that this turns out okay. And all stars shine on your path.